What's up, everybody? Adam here. Hope you're doing well. I'm kind of feeling like crap lately, so I decided to do a drawing video just to kind of work through the things that I'm feeling, and I figured this would just be a fun way to kind of show you how I do some things. I'll start off just by showing you just some of the way I draw. It's highly meditative, which is what I really like. It forces your brain to take a break. Let me get some lights over here. So this is one of my many drawings. And you'll notice that it's very dark in look, and it can be in content depending on how you observe it. You may see bodies, you may see skeletons, demons, or you might see other things in it. That is part of the drawing process. I know you might see them because many people have told me they see them, and I see them as well because I drew them. So this was my first attempt at doing a full picture. Then I went to this one, which I really like because it started to kind of focus in the middle. You see it's much more chaotic out here, but the middle is more defined. There are very clear things in it. And it's really cool because it doesn't matter which way you look at it, you will see things. And this is the brain trying to make sense of the chaos that is going on in this. And that chaos is basically an analogy for life. We see a lot of chaos in our lives, and we live out here when we really want to be living right here in the middle. This is us. And it's interesting because it looks like a dragon right here. What's up, dragon? It's got like the sideways glance. So I really like this one. This on the back side here, this one's not finished, but it's still kind of cool. It's got some really neat pieces. I don't like this. I gotta change all this. I'm gonna fill all this in. But this is just so relaxing, and it helps kind of take the pressures off of my brain. It is a very healthy way to distract yourself from the problems. It's not really a distraction. You're actually working through things versus being online scrolling endlessly. There's actually purpose. There's healing in this. My most recent one is this one, which is kind of cool. I'm digging it, and we might actually just play around with this some more. Because right now it's kind of got this floaty vibe to it. This is definitely floaty. This is that's kind of below it. Almost looks suspended, but I want to kind of turn it into more water-like, I think. So I might just mess this whole thing up. And the beauty about it is you really can't. Now, my setup is not really the best for doing this. Eventually I'll need to, like if I'm actually going to stream, I'll need to change things around a bit. There are some really cool things starting to appear. Kind of see some, almost looks like a person over here, maybe some skeletons. Want it to kind of move back. Looks like there might be some buildings back here. Something peeking out. And so on my TikTok, there are actually people's names from TikTok that I put in here. And I just put out a a video on me doing it where I did a time lapse and wrote everybody's name, and then I did this over it. That was a lot of fun. So let's just I'm just going to explore for a little while. See what we can come up with. I'll be dual wielding double pens. These are, if you want to ever play along, these are 0.005, so these are super thin, super fine. I really like them because it's a lot easier to not mess up with them, I think. Gives you a little bit of leeway, and they're archival ink, so they last a very long time. The only issue is if you're new to using them, you destroy them really quickly. So, alright, we're just gonna, I want my, whatever is going on with me right now to flow out of me, out of my mind. So I'm gonna turn this into, try to turn this into more of a watery scape, and I have no idea how this is gonna work, but we're just gonna kind of put some wave-like motions in here. It's looking kind of turbid, which is pretty accurate for my life. Life can be very turbid at times. And we're gonna say, because to be honest, I don't really know how to do landscape stuff. So we're gonna just we'll pull it out. This will be like it's coming both directions and spilling out into here. So I'm gonna try that with both, one for each hand. Now, if you're trying to do this, you definitely don't need to be using both hands. I just like to practice doing it. I believe it taps into the different sides of the hemisphere for drawing and helps communicate throughout the brain and build new neurological, or whatever it is, pathways. Because we have these pathways in our brains that when we use them constantly, they get rutted in, and we begin to have difficulty seeing things clearly because we believe things are a certain way because we see them all the time. But the only reason we see them that way is because of our behaviors and how we act and react and blah, blah, blah. So I personally believe that using your left hand or whatever your non-dominant hand on a consistent basis helps tap into a new part of your mind. And it's looking kind of cool. It doesn't look so good. It looks better on the camera, actually. It's not quite as soft as I had wanted it. We'll just play around with it and just do like some waves over here. And this is what I like, because I am literally just making marks. I'm not even trying. And it's kind of cool what happens with it. But, I'll make a bunch of scribbles and blah, 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 and then I'll come back behind and kind of bring in some better details. This is another one, kind of goes up in there. It's, go like that. Maybe there's something back there. Definitely looks like that might be like a cove or something back there. Kind of want to keep it a little lighter, I guess, so it doesn't look as close up. And we're just gonna do it, and this may just go from water to something else, and that's okay. I'm not trying to control anything. I am just making marks, taking some breaths. I'm already feeling better. Definitely feeling better already. It's just such a crazy thing, because what it does is it distracts you in a way that, the best way I can describe it is it melts away time almost. because time is literally just a made up social construction. And that is so silly to constantly be attached to. So this is a great way to get it. If you're ever like, you feel the time, if you understand what that is, which I'm sure you've felt it. If you've ever been running late or anything, you feel the time. And this is a way to get rid of that feeling. All right, so this is turning into more of like a landscape. That's all right. So let's kind of explore that. Maybe it's a dried up. I'm seeing, yeah. We're gonna darken this and see what happens. This is like exploring, is what this is. This is the playground where you get to play and mess around with stuff and just enjoy being creative. So I'm going to kind of look at my screen to kind of give it a better angle, and I'm really seeing some stuff down here. Looks kind of cool. We're going to keep playing around in here. Almost looks like there might be a skull hidden back there. And now I'm starting to, so as I do this, my perception keeps changing. I need to bring a little bit more light in here. As I'm drawing it, it's almost like there is this switch, like a channel change or radio change where my brain is changing frequencies and I'm seeing different things in the drawings. And this may happen to you as well while you're watching. You might actually see something and it may change as you're watching it. I've had one person in person see the change that I'm talking about, which was really cool because most people don't actually see it morph in front of their eyes. So they were like, WTF. I'm like, what? Because I was talking to them and I was asking questions about it, because one of my favorite things is to ask people, what do you see? What do you see in this? Because there are so many things to see, because it's just pure chaos, and your mind will create things, and I do my best to try to pull out things for people to see. That's why, one of the reasons why the first drawing that I shared was so dark, because like I didn't know I could change the things I was drawing. These things were coming out of me, and I was like, I didn't even like the way I was drawing. And not from this is bad drawing. It's like, this stuff looks demonic. It looks evil. Like, what is going on? Why is my brain seeing all these things, right? And I could have completely stopped drawing at that moment. Like, the thought definitely crossed my mind, because I was seeing just a lot of death and destruction, which now looking back makes sense. I had a ton of death and destruction in my life. So it was it's no surprise that I was seeing these things. And I really wanted to, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to draw through them until I make them happy. And that's kind of, if you haven't noticed, I changed my channel to Happy Little Nightmares, because these are my happy little nightmares. Like, they aren't as nightmarish to me anymore, because I have trained myself to look past the negative ones, not just look past, draw past. So I will usually, like, I barely even see the negative stuff anymore. If you're seeing something negative, that might be a good indicator that, you might have some unresolved trauma to work on. And this is a great way to do it. Oh man, see, right now I'm getting this really, like, there's like a city here almost. And because I'm seeing like structures up here. Down here, kind of almost seeing like steps. We're going to try to pull out some steps here. I kind of like like it's traveling up from maybe the water up into this area, and maybe there's a house or something up there, or some, almost looks like ancient ruins in a way. Let me zoom in a little bit. Whatever it is, it looks pretty cool. And then of course I'm seeing some sci-fi looking faces. That might be a bird or a person, I'm not really sure. So it's, once I make a bunch of scribbles, I feel like this is water right here. We're gonna try to make that water. And there's something going on here too. I'm not really sure what. But my emotions, those feelings that I was just feeling, the sadness and whatnot, I'm already feeling better. And it's not just because of the drawing. It is also because I am sitting here having a conversation with myself, with the belief that someone else is going to be listening to it, and that it might be helping someone. But breaking it down into the most simplest terms, if you're feeling numb, or you're feeling pain, or you're feeling crappy feelings, especially if you're a guy. If you're a guy, we got the freaking raw end of the stick. And it sucks. And I know exactly what you're going through. It is normal. It's something that we as men have to deal with. It's something that we have to work through. And you cannot work through it without accepting responsibility for it. Changing your belief systems and all these things. It's something that you have to do to work through these things. Same thing with females. It's just a little different. They're usually much more emotionally connected to themselves, I would say, because they've been dealing with the emotions in a very different capacity for a long time. So yeah, I'm really liking this. I'm definitely liking this. Kind of feels a little bit like wreckage right now, but that's all right. I'm digging it. I'm seeing like this person in this, like a window or something up here. And this definitely seems like a structure. Like there's a doorway right there. And we're gonna try to give this some depth. Maybe this will go down a bit. I am definitely enjoying this. And if nobody even hangs out and talks or comments, I think I'm gonna do this more. It's making me feel way better than I expected it would. I'm kind of surprised that I haven't been doing this more often. When I draw, I don't talk. I just sit there and I meditate. And it's quiet. It's nice, but this is different. This is better than I expected. I put a little camp up here. Totally. Maybe we'll add a few more. And that actually looks like a sailboat because I think I wanted... Yeah, we're just gonna add some more stuff here. Like there's a village or something. And I feel like there's a face over here. That's the worst flag ever, but that's okay. And yep, this is kind of like a boat, so maybe there's water here. Maybe there's somebody sailing on the seas, going to this structure over here. Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. All right, let's move to a different spot. Let's move on over, back over here. All right, well, let's say this is water. Let's darken this up and see if that does anything, because I have no idea what I'm doing, to be honest, in life and in my drawings. But I like to experiment. I like to try new things, which is why I've done so many different kinds of therapies, EMDR and blah, blah, blah. And this is just one of them that I've been able to stick with. I enjoy it. I could do this for hours, seriously. This is one of the few things in my life where it's like so soothing and so calming that I could do it forever. And now I'm totally seeing a face right here. Do you see it? Eyes, lips, jaw. Weird one. But looking behind it, see, now I'm seeing like this person standing right here. The eye is going to become something else. We'll change this. It almost looks like somebody's looking downward. There's their arm. This could be their other arm. They're kind of looking over a ledge almost there. And if you don't see it, that's totally cool. Like you'll probably see something else though. So if you see anything, don't forget to comment. Let's see what kind of things we can find together. There's definitely an organic feel to this one. So I'm pretty sure I can actually do a stream right now, even though I have less than 1,000 subscribers. I think there's like a new thing where you can do like 25 of them as like a test or something. Maybe it's a way to like get people on board, which that would be nice. YouTube should have did that a long time ago. So I had a subscriber ask a question recently that I can't really answer in the comment section, so I might kind of coordinate with that person and talk about what they're they're dealing with. So we might do that. Don't know when that will be, but now that I've just done this for, sorry, gotta pay attention to my screen. Now that I've been doing this for a little while, I'm enjoying the benefits of it. I've never spoke as I drew. This is very cathartic for sure. And it's actually, I don't know, usually I'm like thinking about what I'm gonna say, blah, 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 and that's not happening either. So that's nice. So my brain always wants to turn things 3D every once in a while, which is what one of my I wish I could have my brain be in 3D mode always, because it's when I have the most fun. It's when I start seeing landscape-ish stuff. Kind of this stuff up here is where I started to see a lot of 3D stuff. But this one's very different. I did something different with this one too, but on the other ones, if you look closely, if you have an astute eye for these things, and if you're here still, you probably do, you might see things, and by things, it's kind of hard to explain. I see a lot of like I love water. Water is one of my favorite things. I was a diver in the military. Though it almost killed me multiple times, I absolutely love water. It makes me happy. I hope to someday own a house on a lake where I can just wake up and drink coffee and draw. #life goals. And have people over and just have fun. I feel like there's some sort of structure here. It almost looks like there's a pole there. Maybe we can get a pole there. Probably not. That's probably not going to work. So it goes, for me, it kind of, like the scribbles just look like scribbles for a long time. And then there's like this weird mental shift where I will start seeing things. Like I said, it used to be highly negative. I would see like demons and monsters and blah, blah, blah. And now I see people and like cities and cityscapes and like people doing things that aren't nearly as negative as they were before, which makes me very happy, because that tells me that I'm on the right track. My brain is seeing things differently, and it's not just from the drawing I've been on my path of healing for a very long time now. And I've been doing a lot of stuff. And if you're still here, that means that you are either just really interested in my drawings, or you might be interested in the things I have to say. That would probably be my best guess. You're looking for something, and you probably don't know what it is, because that's what it was with me. And I know I'm not a special snowflake. I'm not a unique snowflake. I'm just like everybody else, just with my own experiences, and those experiences have formed how I view the world. And I have had to, and I didn't know that at the time. Whoa, this is like, there's a crazy, it almost looks like mantis arms right here. Oh, we are drawing that. We're pulling that out right there. Let's see if we can. I kind of lost it. It still looks like some insect looking appendages right there. I see like a head tilted that way, kind of looking that way. Well, almost looks like it's like a creature wearing a backpack. It looks, oh, see, now it's changing again. It's changing on me. Still looking that way. He's got like groceries on his back. Some crazy arms. Let's give him some sharp. We'll sharpen his stuff. Okay, well, it'll change. So like I'll draw stuff, and if I want it to stay the way it is, like I see something cool, then I leave it and I try not to mess with it. But I often will go turn my stuff upside down and continue the drawing, and then I may not remember where the things are at. There are so many things I can't remember them all anyways, so definitely feeling some structure over here. This is looking, I'm really liking this area right here. It just seems, that might be a body, a head. Oh, so there's a head, shoulders, arms, kneecaps, femur. I'm going to darken this and turn that into a shoe. And now we got a leg even. Maybe. This is very skullish. I'm seeing some skulls. I don't know, what do you see? What are you seeing over here? I'm seeing like people. Not human people, but maybe they're robots. I haven't had any robots come into my drawings for a little while. That would be nice. My favorite is the sci-fi stuff. Once I start seeing sci-fi stuff, I know I'm in a fun spot. If you see any sci-fi stuff, which I'm not seeing any, so I'm assuming you won't see any, at least anything super defined. Might see some guys in helmets. Now that I say it, that's what happens. Now I'm starting to see it. We're gonna kind of darken this down here and maybe give it some sort of contrast. I don't know. Yeah, so this is kind of what I'm going to be doing. Just drawing, talking, relaxing. I might talk about things that have been going on in my life. I might talk about comments that people have commented about. If I'm streaming, I will be engaging as much as I can. I'm trying to think of how I can really do this. This is looking cool. I'm liking this. I'll have to figure out, because like I can't really look at the screen. I mean, I can't. Actually, I can. I can totally do this. I can totally be looking like this. All right, I'm getting a landscape vibe going on here now. That almost looks like some weird creature as well. So we're just gonna do that. Almost looks like a carapace. Kind of looks like some feathers. A lot of things peek. They peek through the cracks and crevices. Sometimes they're fun to just leave there and let them peek. Other times, that's interesting. See if I can zoom in a little bit. I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this. Because I do have school today, and this is probably me being avoidant in my homework. Kind of always gets. So for those of you who do not know, I am currently in my last semester at the community college I've been going to for past 2 years. I have been accepted to the University of Minnesota, where I will be pursuing a degree path in the anthropology area. And maybe someday I'll talk about why I've discovered some fascinating things that I really want to pursue. That I hope will someday benefit mankind in some way. Because I'm a very curious person. I'm also kind of batshit crazy, because I was a bond technician, and so I have a bit of an extreme personality. I've been working on it. I'm not as extreme as I used to be, because that's not a way to live. If you say you have an extreme personality, I highly suggest you start working on that, because that is not a badge of honor. That is a tough way of living. Because, as with my black and white photos, and when you live in the extremes of black or white, you don't get any of the color. And is it just me, or is there something chewing on this right here? Oh, I love it. I'm digging this. Digging through the... Oh, well, it's not chewing on it anymore. It's just becoming something. Do you see it? Comment if you see it. I'm seeing like a pathway over here. Yeah, this is... Alright. And you might just see a bunch of scribbles and dibbles. Blah, blah, blah. That's alright too. It's all about just doing something that is highly meditative. Whether it's just listening, I don't know. I'm not sure if my voice is the meditative type, but if it is, let me know. I will focus on that more. I'm actually, as one of my many therapeutic activities, I am currently enrolled in voice lessons at the school, which is terrifying because I've never sang in front of anyone before, so it's been a lot of fun. I'm not at the point of singing yet, but it's something I'm working towards. There are lots of things I'm working towards. And the primary thing is just working towards a better life. Not that my life is bad right now. It is going quite well these days. And I am very content with where I'm at, my mental state, my ability, my awareness of myself has grown so much, and it is absolutely amazing. So I'm very happy with that. But I want to improve some other parts of my life. I just want a little bit more of a cushion room when it comes to money. I make plenty of money. I save money. I'm actually getting paid to go to school right now. You would not believe how much money they pay you to go to school. Like, I was working full time. That looks like a creature, peeking, bony creature. So, I lost my train of thought. But I'm getting paid surprisingly well to go to school, which is really nice. Because I don't have to work and I can focus on college 100%, which is what I needed. It was a choice I made. It was a very good choice. Definitely feeling like architecture-esque around here. For some reason I'm saving that. Almost looks like there's a person hanging, standing on a box. I don't know, but then there's this eye up here and he's peeking, he's looking. Did you notice him? He's not part of another creature, so I'm not really sure what's going on with him. Maybe another eye will appear over here. Kinda. I don't know. Every once in a while, we need a new perspective in life. So take this in for a moment, see what you're seeing. And let's flip it upside down. Go into the upside down. And that looks wild. It almost looks like there is something swimming, and that's like, it's in motion, kind of in, you see like trails, doing a side stroke of some type. Like its arm is fully back and then it pulls in, goes out, like it's swimming. I like that because that was supposed to be water. Okay, well it kind of looks like there's people running away from this thing. All that, we gotta do that. I don't know what this is gonna do. Maybe we can give it some, like, these are maybe rocky outcroppings. I don't want, I'm gonna pretend those are people. If you don't see them, that's cool. Maybe you see something else. I see people running for their lives, unfortunately. I'm going to try not to make it so it, like, stops the people from getting away. If that, like, I wouldn't be surprised the way I draw, the thing would, like, totally eat them people. So I'll try to, I don't know, make it more rocky over here. That looks like somebody's walking at a much less slower pace. I don't know. All kinds of faces in here. All right, it's gonna change. We're gonna change it. Don't know what it's gonna change into. It kind of looks like buildings. Maybe make that into a book. Don't think that worked very well. That's all right. It's kind of the nice thing about this style of drawing, which I have no idea what I call it. Maybe it's just doodling. Doodling with intention, maybe? I mean, it is definitely doodling because I'm not really drawing anything, but they are drawing, there are things appearing that look precise almost, I'd say. Like every once in a while, there are some things that are just so clear. Like I'm seeing the clearest bird with a helmet on right now. And it looks so intentional. And there's like another little creature looking out with him. They're looking, oh, maybe they're looking through that. Oh, I like that thought. Now I'm seeing some kind of ominous looking eyes right there and there. It's got a creature vibe to it for sure. Eventually I'll get a setup where I'm not as shaky, but that's only going to happen if I get more subscribers. So I'm not going to put a metric butt ton of effort into this if nobody's coming to hang out or nobody's engaging with my stuff. I can happily do this all by myself. I can definitely talk to myself. Do it all the time. Especially now that I'm in Spanish. I have to because I don't have anyone to speak it with other than it's in Spanish class, my tutors, and it's definitely tough for me. I am liking this. So let's just do a pan out view and see what this looks like. See, now it looks like that is kind of cool, actually. Because before, when it was like, I actually had this because I had no idea. I'm like, what is this? What am I doing? I'm like, all right, I'll throw some mushrooms on there. I'll put some dangly tendrils on it. But I didn't have any of this. And now it actually looks like gravity is kind of accurate this way. Since the mushrooms would be going that way. Maybe their caps wouldn't quite be that way. Then this one is right side up. So maybe this is like hanging from the ceiling or something. But what do you see from far away? What do you see close up? I'm really liking how this is turning out. This was fun. Alright, well, I gotta get ready for school and upload this video. If you're still here, holy crap, you are amazing. And I wanna meet you. So we'll do a hangout sometime. Alright, thanks for watching.